Hello and welcome all to my English channel. Student, today I am going to teach you the poem The Legend of the Northland. Okay, this poem is written by the poetess Phoebe Cary. She was an American poet. Now before starting the poem, before telling you about the poem, I would like to tell you some new words, some new terms like what is a legend, okay, what is a legend, what then I will be telling you something about the poetess, and finally children, the theme, central idea of the poem will be discussed along with the background of the poem. So first of all, I would like to tell you something about the legend. What is a legend? So and I would like to tell you something about these two terms, because these two terms are the most important term of the poem. Now, first of all, what is a legend? A legend is an old traditional story. So what is a legend? It is an old traditional story and it always have some moral teaching, students. So it is an old traditional story and it always have a moral teaching. The story is a narration for children. So here this story is a narration for children. The poet in the very onset says that she doesn't believe this tale to be true. Well children, legend doesn't prove that the tale is authentic or true. Only thing is that the poem is called legend because it teaches the purpose and value of generosity and charity to all fellow. Secondly children, this legend, this traditional story passes from one generation to another, but it doesn't have any proof that it is an authentic or a true story. Okay, so this is the meaning of legend. Now something about the Northland. Northland is one of the coldest land in our earth. Okay, and people believe it is a polar region. It might be Lapland near Norway, Sweden, where we believe Santa Claus comes from there only. Okay, so this is a legend from Northland. Northland, the coldest region of the earth. Okay, so I've told you these two terms. Now I would like to tell something about the poetess. Now I would like to tell you something about the poetess and the theme of the poem. Well, so children, Phoebe Cary, she is an American poetess, and children, she was having one sister also. Both used to write the poem. So Phoebe Cary, children, she was born on September 4, 1824. You can, if you want, you can note it down. Phoebe Cary, she was born on September 4 1824, July 31 to 1871. So she died on 31st July 1871 and she was born on 4th September 1824. And she was an American poet and the younger sister of poet Alice Cary. So children, their two sisters were there. One was Phoebe Cary and her younger sister was Alice Cary. She also used to write the poem. She was born in 1820 and she died in 1871. 1871. Both the sister died, children, both the younger and the elder sister, they died in the same year. The sister co-published poem in 1849. So both the sisters, they co-published their poem in 1849 and then each went on to publish volumes of her own. After their deaths in 1871, joint anthology of the sister, unpublished poems were also compiled. So some of the poems they were remaining, they were not able to publish. So both the sister poems, the joint anthology of the sisters' unpublished poem, it was compiled and then it was published. Now children, the style of this poem is ballad. I would like to tell you about ballad also. So children, a poem which we can sing into a song, that is a ballad. And a ballad is a song and it narrates the story. So which can be sung into song and it narrates a story in short stanza. Traditional ballads are typically of unknown authorship, having been passed on orally from one generation to the next. Now I would like to tell you something about the summary of the poem. In Northland, there lived a little woman in a cottage. She was baking delicious cakes in the evening. So a lady was there and she used to bake the cake. Her work was to bake the cake, and this baking business she used to do in the evening. She used to bake the cake in the evening and sell in the morning. Now children, she was a lady, she was living in a cozy house and she used to do her work regularly, having a nice income. So one day, Saint Peter, so I think I would also like to tell you about Saint Peter. He was the messenger. He is the messenger of God, and people believe he comes to the earth and passes the message to the people. So children, he was there that day. He came to her village that day. Saint Peter, during his sojourn, stay visit around the world. So children, he had to stay because he had to give the message to the world. So he had to stay. He stayed there in that village where that lady was living, and he was, children, after giving messages to many people, he became very tired as well as he was very hungry. So children, he had been preaching and had not eaten food for a long time. So since morning he was preaching and preaching, and hence he became very tired and hungry. He did not eat anything since morning. Well children, then he went to the house where that lady was living. He called her. He was already very tired and hungry. He told her that he wants something to eat. Well, that lady was and she was not a generous lady and close-fisted woman. She told him, okay, I will give you some cake to eat. And children, started baking a very small cake, because in her house very large pieces of cakes were there, full large cakes were there, which she did not want to give him. So she told Saint Peter that she is going to bake she will be baking the cake and then she would be sharing to him. Well, she baked a very small piece of cake. She was an ungenerous and close-fisted woman. She therefore tried to bake a small cake to give away. But each time, children, she baked the cake and she felt that cake is too big to give. Again, she baked a very small cake, and this happened 3 to 4 times. Now, children, whenever she was baking the cake, each time she felt the cake was too big to give away. Untimely, she tried to bake a paper-thin cake, which also turned big in her estimation. Now children, finally she decided she will bake a paper cake, very thin piece of cake, that she will give him to eat. But when she baked that cake, again she felt that she estimated the cost of that cake, and she thought, why should she just, without having any money, why should she give this cake to Saint Peter? She began to wonder how the cakes that were meant for others seemed big to her, and those that were meant for her to eat seemed very small. Well children, the last cake, which was very thin, she also put that cake to the shelf. And here Saint Peter, he was waiting, getting irritated because he was thinking how long she is taking to bake the cake. And again he waited, and then finally he became very angry. This angered Saint Peter, who was very hungry and faint. He was very much, and finally he was about to faint. Well, when children, he came to know that she baked the cake and she did not give it to him, he was very angry, and he was about to faint also, but he cursed that lady She told him that she did not deserve to be a human being, nor did she deserve to live in a house and have a fire to keep her warm. Now she doesn't want, he just told her that she did not deserve that house also, that cozy house also to live, which was a warm house. And you know that they were living in the Northland. Northland is a very cold place where people put fur clothes. There is a sledge to travel. Reindeers pull the sledge because everywhere, children, you will find ice and ice everywhere. So the vehicles which are having these, they cannot travel through that vehicles. They have to travel through sledge. So children, he told her that she did not deserve to be a human being, nor did she deserve to live in a house and have a fire to keep her warm. He cursed her and said, henceforth, she would have to build her own house and would have to bore holes in hard dry wood. Now children, he cursed her that from now she would be living in her house. She has to live in the, have to go out from that house where a fire was kept for her to give the warm atmosphere, to have a warm atmosphere in the house. He cursed her and said, henceforth, she would have to build her own house and would have to bore holes in hard, dry woods for living, and to acquire the scanty food that a bird requires to survive. And she will have a very small food because she has to search for her food. And she would now not be a lady, she would be turned into a woodpecker. The moment he cursed, that lady has turned into a woodpecker, and she flew off from the top of her house. The little woman was turned to a woodpecker student and noticed by every schoolboy as she keeps picking at the wood in search of food. So children, this was the background of the poem, and now children, I will be reading the poem and I will be doing the explanation of the poem. So first let me read the poem. Okay, so this is a legend, it's a type of the ballad. That means this poem is a story which can be sung into a song, and this is a story of how St. Peter cursed that lady and she has turned into woodpecker. Okay, so now I am going to read the whole poem. Listen to me carefully. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledge when it snows, and the children look like bear cubs in their funny furry clothes. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Once when the good St. Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, he came to the door of a cottage in travelling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Therefore she kneaded another and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it in as wafer, but she could not part with that. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Then the good St. Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke his scent. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get you scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard, dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the tree till this very day, burrowing and burrowing for food. So that's all, children. Now I will be doing the explanation of the poem, and I will be writing the new words. So I will be explaining the first stanza. Away, away in the northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. So I already discussed the meaning of the northland. So here it must be Saint Peter. Okay, so he was the messenger of a god. Now this wonderful story is turned into a legend. That means the story, people believe it's a true, but we don't still have any children prove that the story is a true. And this legend is passed from many generations from the last many generations till this generation. And this is the story of Saint Peter, who was a messenger of God. So now I would like to explain you the children explanation of the poem will be done, and this stanza first. So stanza 1. Away, away in the northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter. So children, first of all, a word used here is northland. Okay, a northland are the coldest region of the earth, and it is believed, children, people, everywhere there is snow on the tree, on the houses, on the road. No vehicle with wheels can move here on the road. Okay, people use a sledge for going, as it is covered with ice every time. Of course, children, it is pulled by reindeer, and we have very cold here. Small kids, not only kids but the people, they put fur clothes. Okay, so away, away in the northland. That means, children, this is a story of a northland, and it was a winter time. In winter time, what we have a long night and short day. So this is here it is explained, children. The poet introduced the place from where the story is derived. So this story is believed to be from the northland, away, away in the northland, because this word is clearly given in the story. Away, away in the northland. The poet says, children, since it is a winter time, so days are very short and the nights are very long here, and it is too long that people find difficult to sleep throughout the night, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. They are not able to sleep through that night. They awake many times because the night are too long in the northland, where the harness the swift reindeer to the sledge when it snows, and the children look like bears cubs in their funny, furry clothes. So children, harness is tie. Harness means stanza 2 now. Tie, and reindeer are, children, they are the animals like deer. Okay, so reindeer here means, children, and animals which are similar to deer. Deer is found in the cold region to draw the sledge. Okay, now furry is made of fur. new word meaning are here student. Harness is to tie. Reindeer is a deer found in the cold region to draw sledge. You must have heard about Santa Claus. Even his sledge is drawn by reindeer and furry is made of fur. Now I will be explaining student the second stanza where they harness the swift reindeer. Swift means children which run fast. So the reindeers which run fast, they are tied to the sledge. They are harnessed. Harness means to tie. Their reindeers are tied to a sledge. And children, when it snows, when there is a snowfall, we know that only sledge can go on the road. And the children look like bear cubs. And the small children, they look like as if they are the baby bear, because children, they put the clothes which is made of fur. Okay. So the poet continues to give a description of people of Northland. She says that in the snowfall, the people like sledging, so they rein the reindeer to the sledge, and the little children wear heavy woolen clothes that make them look like little bear cubs, and the whole clothes they are putting is of fur. Now stanza 3, they tell them a curious story. I don't believe it is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. So tis is a word for it is. This is a word for it is. Okay. So children, this means it is. It's a short form is this. So the poet is telling now from the Northland people have a curious story to tell. I don't believe it is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Tale. Now this is a T-A-L-E. There is tale. Oh, not this tale I'm talking about. This tale. So there is a curious, a very interesting tale from the Northland. Okay, it is very curious. I don't believe it's true. Children, this line proves that even the poetess doesn't believe that this tale is true. And yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Though it is, we don't know whether this tale is true or not. But if through this tale we can learn a lesson. Okay. Once when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know. Saint Peter, I told you student, he is the messenger of God. Okay, Saint is the messenger of God. So children, once when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know, he came to the door of a cottage and traveling around the earth where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the earth. So children, that Saint Peter, he was walking, okay, in the world below. He came to give some messages which was given to him by God, and he wanted to give those messages to the human being. But from which part of the human of earth he went there? He went to the Northland to give the message. And he was walking from one place to another, from one house to another, and he was preaching just as he did, you know. Okay, and children, since he was the messenger of God, and children, this Saint Peter lived on earth. He traveled around the world teaching the words of God or the teaching of God. Okay, now stanza 5. So stanza 5 I will be telling you. Okay. is there in stanza 5? Let's read. He came to the door of a cottage in travelling round the earth where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Alright, so cottage is a small house made of wood. Cottage is a small house made of wood. So children, he came, and then baking is cook food by dry heat without direct exposure to flame. Okay, hearth is fireplace. Hearth is fireplace. And students, being faint, feeling tired and dizzy. Being faint, feeling tired and dizzy. Store is stock. So student, these are some of the meaning of the fifth stanza. Cottage means a small house, and generally this house is made of wood or mud also is used sometime. Then hearth is the fireplace. Being faint when person is about to faint, he is very tired and he is very feeling dizzy, so that word is known as being faint. And then store is stock. Okay, so now I am going to explain you the children stanza 5. He came to the once when the good Saint Peter lived in a world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know. So Saint Peter is here in the world. He is walking and he want to preach his whatever the messages has been passed to him by God. He want to preach. He was walking. He came to the door of a cottage. Suddenly, children, Saint Peter, he came to the door of a cottage. Cottage, I told you, a small house which is made of wood. In traveling around the earth, now children, he was telling and he was taking round on that part of earth or the village, and where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Okay, so children, there she was a woman was there. She was children. She lived in a very comfortable cottage, in a very comfortable small house. She was baking the cake. Her business was to bake the cake. So while preaching the words of God around the world, he reached to the door of the little woman she was baking cakes on her hearth. Okay. Hearth means fireplace. As I told you, hearth means what? Fireplace. So now children, the poet, he came towards her house, and since he was taking round since morning, he was preaching whatever the saying of the God was there. So he was very tired, and we can say it was a bad luck for a woman or for even for Saint Peter. He sat in the front of her house, and when he came to know that she bakes cake, he was already very hungry and tired. Since morning he was preaching everybody, so he went near her house, in front of her house, and sat there, and he wanted to tell that woman who used to live in the house that he is very hungry. Okay, so in stanza 5th, he can only see the little woman who was baking the cake, and she was baking the cake on the hearth while preaching the words of God around the world. He reached to the door of the little woman who she was baking cake on her. Now children, from Stranger 6, I will be teaching in my next video since the time is over, and here I conclude my video. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Goodbye.